thought I'd find you here. That damned tree sent me. He has roots and branches all through the forest, but I was so hoping you'd be enough of a distraction for me to pass unnoticed. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. The gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Gnome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkofar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Neuralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. Let's not keep Nash waiting. Trolls aren't normally this well organized. Even the biggest clans never build dens this deep. What are the two Arthur doing here? these trolls ever went on a rampage, they could destroy half of Dalentar. Looks like the Tuatha have been working here for a long time. If they've come this far inland, we're all in grave danger. What the two have done to her? Prismere. The dwarf had come to her. Prismere. The dwarf had come to her. Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. To the contrary, until you came along, she was destined to rampage across Dalentarth, at least, if you believe Niralim. Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll let you into Issa now. I'll finish off any Tuatha hiding in this den. You can tell the old mossy log yourself. I'll be tracking down any other Tuatha that may have come this far west. I'll find you again when the time is right. What have the Tuatha done to her? Nice work. I see you have... Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. To the contrary, go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll let you into Issa now. I'll find you again when the time is right.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path. And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismere and pain. You have only delayed our doom. You have the power of an immortal, and yet the humility to ask for help. Little one, I envy your grace. You shall carry my blessings with you. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Nash and her brood would have spread across Dalentarth and brought the taint of Prismere with them. So it forever was to be, until you set about to stop it. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She, and if that path includes the gardens of Issa, I shall allow it. May your path be long and evergreen.
Yes?
We'd normally be better stocked, but with the blood plague, well... Come back anytime. Can I help you?
Kester and Cora. They're the cornerstones that hold this village up. Tinder Twig, which is easiest found in Ironhold Passage. In Scarwood Bark, which is found near the ruins in northern Glendara Wood. Tinder Twig, which is easiest found in Ironhold Passage. Another potion! Excellent! Tinder Twig, which is easiest found in Another potion! Excellent! Tinder Twig, which is easiest found in Ironhold Another potion! Excellent! Tinder Twig, which is easiest Another potion! Excellent! Tinder Twig, which is easiest found in Another potion! Excellent! Best I can manage a crude semblance thereof. Tinder Twig, which is easiest Another potion! Excellent!
Hello?
Stay close to the village.
I don't know if I'll ever take on another apprentice. Not... After Karth's betrayal, it just goes to show that we gnomes should stay with our own. Farewell. I don't know if I'll ever take on another apprentice. Not after Karth's betrayal. It just goes to show that we know... Goodbye.
Welcome to the Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Court and the warm heart of the Feylands. It is a rare occasion for us to welcome a child of dust into Issa, but it is equally rare that Niralim chooses a champion. Pleased to meet you. I am Chancellor to the High King. I pray you enjoy our hospitality. High King Titarian is Lord of the Summerfey, the font of all our wisdom, and first amongst the immortals. And since Godflow tragically murdered the High King of the Winter Court, Titarian is the greatest and last true leader left of our kind. Too many mortals misunderstand the Winter Court. Our cold cousins are not evil, but merely evoke the darker truths of nature, from subtlety to decay. Perhaps it makes sense that children of dust are put off by those who embody their inevitable death, but it is regrettable that so many are misunderstood. Truly a place of wonder, as it has always been and always shall be. Here springs the life well of Dalentarth, and the greater Feylands in all directions. It is a pity that some of our kind have fallen to such degenerative states, but we cannot shed a tear for their weakness. We are the Summer Court, the very embodiments of courage, honor, and all things bright and proud. Some envious few in the Winter Court would call us arrogant and self-righteous, as well as all manner of other epithets. But remember, we are the ones who stayed true to tradition, while they turned to barbarism. The Tuatha find new recruits from our ranks. The ranks of the Fae were not always sullied by the presence of anything so coarse as the Tuatha. Once, the Summer and Winter Courts existed in harmony. But Godflow perverted the Winter Court with talk of his new god, and from that poison, the Tuatha arose. The sapling of the World Tree bears centuries of great wisdom. Of course, long-lived as Nirlam is, it is still regrettably mortal. Even all greatest mortal wisdom cannot compare to the perspective given by true agelessness. Begging your pardon, of course.
Excuse me, mortal.
Watch your back.
Hello there, pretty. Come, talk a spell. Hey there, pretty. This is Asker's Alley, best tavern in Issa. Only tavern in Issa, of course, but you didn't know that, did you? If you're new in the city, I can help. I know everything. About the Understyle, the Embassy, the Scholia Arcana, you name it. I know it all. It's the Fey neighborhood on the other side of the city. There you'll find the Hall of Appointments and the Lyceum Grove. They don't mind if you go exploring in the Understyle, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you know your way around. The Fey can be easily offended. We provide your basic public service. Ale, and if drinking isn't your thing, then you can always stop by the Hexes game and back. Oh, if I had the finery and manners, you wouldn't find me anywhere but the Embassy Hall. I'd even buy a title. But it's a dreadful place these days, what with the war. The Darkofar and Varani are practically at arms over their differences, and everyone speaks in a whisper. I prefer the United Merchants delegation. Those are my people. Olana and her squire Brio, they have the good fortune to meet with all the nobles who visit the High King. A life of lords and ladies. Oh, that's the life for me. So you want to brush up on your bad luck, do you? That game will do it for you, all right. Speak with Kali in the back. Is that the one at the far end of the Understyle? Yeah, I think that's the place. Never been there, but folks say that's where the Fae make the waterfalls. You see, the city gets its magic from the water. They call it the fountain. Or is it the wellspring? I never remember. I'm sure it's just a story anyway. When Issa first opened, the Alfar approached the humans about creating a shared shop so people here could get their sundries. All of this was lost on the Fae, of course. Most of the United Merchants are good people, like Wystron and Gwenna. But that blacksmith's apprentice, Britt Codgan, he's a leech. Let me just say that I adore Olana. She's one of the few Fae that I've met face to face, and she couldn't be more pleasant. Such a pretty one. The Askers took me in when my pa was killed in the war. That's been nearly 10 years. Now this is my home, pretty. It's where you'll find me every day and every night. Oh, that's a sinister spot, isn't it? Even the Fae take a few extra steps to walk clear of there. Don't trust anyone in robes. Like I said, it's all magic to me. If the Fae said this city got its power from glowing purple antelopes, I'd probably believe them. I'm just a hostess. Bye now. Need some chatter? I've got plenty to go around, pretty. Bye now.
If you're looking to drown your worries at the bottom of a bottle, this is the place for you. I'm Gertern Asker, and this is my establishment. But if you're looking for the Victor's Brew, we don't sell that in Asker's Alley, and you'll have to take your business elsewhere. There's a brewery near Rathia that makes it. Very small, very secretive. But they've found their niche, that's for certain. Cheap and powerful. It's not a drink for the man who appreciates craftsmanship, tradition. It just helps the soldiers forget all they've been through. It's the most popular drink in Amalur, at least it is now. My Asker's Ale used to be the preferred beverage, but every day brings more cancelled orders. My brother and I are working on a new drink, but it requires something special. Wait a minute. Maybe you could help. If you do, I could see to it that the merchants in Issa treat you well. So here's what we're thinking. Bring back our grandmother's favorite Asker's Draft, a classic. The recipe calls for bristletongue seeds, And if you're talking rare ingredients, Bristletongue tops the list. It's worthless for potions, but tastes fabulous. The problem is that the Fae control the use of Bristletongue, as it's a product of the Font's waters. Talk to Jackson, their apothecary. He can probably get it for us. He spends his time in the Lyceum Grove in the Understyle section of town. He's an odd duck, always crafting new tonics. Some advice? Don't drink any. The ambassadors requested that facilities be created where flesh and blood folks could put their feet up. Not that the Fae know what that means. So the Almain approached my family about starting a tavern. The alley does well, but I'm no businessman. It's been in our family for 4 generations, since the days of Almir the Bold. Our grandmother entrusted us with the formula, and we made a fortune from it. But I'm afraid we've been replaced by a new drink. Almir the Bold was the first king of the Almain. He brought us out of lawlessness and misery. We've always wanted to name a drink after him. I wouldn't say I ran from the war. I just don't need to know every little thing that's going on. There are other ways to help. Getting folks drunk is one of them. I know better than to criticize the Fae. They call us children of dust. We treat them like people, but they're like no people I've ever met. This city has been here for thousands of years. Longer than that, even. It will be here long after we're gone. Oh, yes, sorry. The United Merchants Delegation. It's a coalition of traders that have been granted permission to sell their wares in Issa. See you soon.
Watch your back.
Aren't you bold? This is the Varani wing of the embassy, and few venture here without being summoned. I'm Ambassador Odvar, he who bloodies the waters. The Varani allow the purchase of several titles for use in the gardens of Issa, but they are rare and should be worn with great respect. This title carries with it much history and much responsibility. Do not take it for granted. I proclaim you Guardian of Arms. I have served my people for 40 years, in war and in peace. Now I serve here, in the gardens. It is here where the important battles are fought. The Battle of Wills. I enjoy being this close to those I'm competing against. That's what this is, isn't it? A conflict in which we struggle to gain the ear of the Fae. As always, the Varani will triumph. I have lived in less hospitable places. The Fae may not understand what it means to be mortal, but they certainly have an eye for beauty. The High King knows why we are here, yet he does nothing. Our people die at the hands of the Tuatha, Fae, but the Fae themselves show no remorse. Titarian and the Summer Court will know our anger, and they will aid us or perish. Leave me to my business. This had better be worthy of my time. The Varani and Issa have many concerns that require our attention. I don't have time for this. Then we must do what needs to be done.
Perhaps we must finally swallow our dignity and draw our swords. Quiet. We must not discuss this further in the open. You must be the special messenger Titarian's expecting. Trust me, the rest of us have heard plenty about it. Erwin can't keep his big mouth shut. I am Methani Keen, Dokalfar ambassador to the Summer Court Fae. I'm sorry. This is a difficult position sometimes. This is where the Fae hide us to keep us out of sight. I used to take offense, but I got over it. I wouldn't want to live near them. Strange things, the Fae. I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence, but I'm less interested in charisma than I am in leadership. Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. It's unjust to live in peace while the rest of the world burns. They are a council of Fae nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not that they even understand what that means. To them, politics is just a game. Well, more of a game than usual. You understand my meaning. Something is about to happen, and it must be stopped. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in hearing my story, meet me in the worship circle after dark, near the gates. I will wait for you there. Goodbye.
Presenting she, the wisest imperator, the guardian of arms.
You've been watching me long enough. What is it? Did I wrong you in another life, sister? If you're willing to spare the gold, I can teach you what I know. In this battered old skull is a lifetime of knowledge, and quite a few stories as well. I have no interest in this war between mortals and the deathless. It is a waste of life, and I have my own private battles to finish. It's as good a place as any, I guess. But after a while, people begin to remember you, and for someone like me, that's a problem. I prefer anonymity. Besides, could there be a better place to hide from this offensive war? The only weapons you find in a garden are the blades of grass. I don't care to stay in one place for too long. Felltown sounded like a good opportunity, and an even better hiding place. I can't say the Peace Edict has hurt business, but it's not exactly easy to train students in blacksmithing without weapons around. What you've no doubt heard is correct. I am the Holt Fren. I forged Bolgan's Bane of the Kaled Coast, and many other legendary pieces. My youth was spent as a mercenary, but I have since renounced those ways. Unfortunately, my enemies have long memories, and they aren't as forgiving as I am. Let the Fae try to stop me from carrying arms in the city. Weapons are my trade, my only expertise. It It'd be like asking a hen to stop laying eggs. It is an ancient Alfar kingdom far across the sea in the dense swamps of Klurkon. I once helped its great lords overcome a terrible Bolgan problem. Farewell. Idle hands can lead one into trouble. The best way to keep busy is to learn a useful trade. Goodbye.
Need anything? I've got the best in Issa. If you're looking to buy armor, I'm the only one in Felltown who's authorized to sell it. I'm Gwenna Hand, but my customers call me Gwen. I don't have many weapons to offer, on account of the peace edict, but there's still a selection to pick through. Have at it. My twin brother and I were entering the army to fight for the Alpha when I panicked. I couldn't. I'm not a fighter. I came to Issa instead. I'm not proud of running, but I'm much more useful here as an unofficial ambassador of sorts. Not everyone's a fighter. The Tuatha were intensifying their attacks against Mel Sinshir, the bastion in the east. Of course, that's just rumors. I pray they're not true. This is where the Fae keep us so we don't blemish their pretty city. Can't say I blame them. We're an unruly and ugly lot, mortals. The Fae didn't have laws, at least not official ones, until we arrived. Now they insist that those of us who live in Issa must keep its peace. No weapons. You must be one of the special exemptions. Let me guess. Ambassador? Scholia Arcana? Could be anything. Being here isn't good for business, that's for sure. I see the same damn 20 faces every day. But it's an honor for Britt and I to be here. Make no mistake about that. He's a dear friend from years ago. He spent time as my apprentice, but recently set out on his own. He sells authentic ritual Fae blades outside in the square. Come back again.
hope you're here about the job. Demand is higher than ever. I'm just too busy to deal with anything else. Making a fortune is what? These visitors come with obscene amounts of gold or treasure. They don't mind parting with it. My plan was brilliant. I created a blade, Fey blade, of course, that makes them authentic, something all of them had to have. That's all they care about anyway, Fey souvenirs. I called it the Honor brand. Truth be told, it's dull as a stick, but it's easy to make. Listen, if you can find the parts and make them, I'll pay good money. Fabulous, fabulous! You know a good deal when you see it. There aren't enough people like you in Issa. The Fae don't even use money. Can you imagine? Once you start forging the Honor brands, bring them to me and I'll provide you with just compensation. There should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair amount of junk. Sure. You want to know about me? It's understandable. You want to know who you're going into business with. A wise move. Very wise. My mother was a merchant in Rathir, and I learned the trade at her side. I took the apprenticeship with Gwenna Hand, mostly to get me into Issa. Now I'm on my own. Keep an eye out for parts. Doesn't look like you've had any luck. Forge me an Honor brand and I'll do my best to make it worth your time. She's the general merchant in the United Merchants delegation down the road. We've been friends for years now, I believe. A good, honest one, that Gwenna. Goodbye. Doesn't look like you've had any luck. For there should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair amount of junk. You think I like being confined to this cage? Think again. And after all we've done for them in this war, ungrateful creatures. I can sum up the war in one word. Folly. It is folly. You will see. Everyone will see. It's safe, that's for sure. At least for the time being. I don't quite understand the Fae, but they definitely know how to keep a city quiet. Not just anyone can enter the secret city of the Fae. Oh no. You need an ambassador's endorsement and written authorization, and that's just to be in the lottery. Those in the United Merchants are the lucky ones. Of course, once you see how much gold they actually make in Issa, you will no longer envy them. What do I know of Fae politics? I didn't even know they had a city until Gwen and I were allowed in. All I know is that there's opportunity here, thanks to the war. Don't keep me waiting too long.